So I'll be talking about Team USA, the current roster, 2024 versus, the 92 Dream Team, right? So why do I have to make this video? Because I heard that, all these narrative, we have to stop people from spreading, lies and narrative, right? That's what we do in this channel, right? Stop comparing, this era, to the past era. It's just getting really annoying, and it just pisses, lots of people off, This is why a lot of people don't watch basketball these days. NBA, just to be honest with you, I've been watching on YouTube, following Ticket TV, Sport Fitness Rant, and other channel that always talks about basketball, right? Yeah, so they're getting really tired, especially the true fans, are standing up, right? We're not allowing, these fools, to rewrite, history. History will always stay the same. You cannot change it, right? That's just the real facts here. So that's just on the truth. And you want to know, like, why the dream, why, the 2024, US, team will have no chance versus, the 92 Dream Team, right? I mean, just think about this, man. ESPN, and your other sport media, they've been lying like how much, like this team, say that this team would not just only beat them, but would dominate them. Dominate mean like blow them out, like completely, annihilate them, right? Annihilate them. And yeah, annihilate mean like blowing them out like every single time, but here's the facts, man, right? And also they want to make this narrative that, like the team, the war has, caught up, but I don't think the war has caught up, right? The crazy fact is that it actually fall behind. So you have to explain me why, like you're not providing enough evidence and detail, right? So yeah, I've been listening carefully, and also, I didn't watch Olympic basketball, right? Just unfortunately too busy and stuff, but a lot more teams are shooting threes, right? I mean, in the past, basketball was better because it was a lot more, physical, right? I think there are like multiple biggest, I'll name you the biggest reason, like why, the 2024 USA is not as strong, not close as strong as, as, 92 region. Like these teams are not even close to each other, right? The 1992, I think the 2024, USA actually brought the standard down. So yeah, there's just like all this evidence, and people still don't believe it, right? Yeah, so me too, like we're all sick of narrative, we all sick of excuses in life, right? This is why, you can make as many excuses you want and people will never respect you, right? I mean, come on, man, right? Because that actually lowers your standard, and it actually lowers your, true ability. So this is what's gonna happen, right? I mean, number one, so they're lying to me saying that, the Team USA, 2024 roster is bigger and stronger and faster than, the 92, Dream Team. That is definitely a narrative, right? That is definitely false. It's the other way around. The 92 Dream Team, if they would have existed today, they would have dominated 2024. Like they will like beat the bricks out of them. They will like blow them out. It will not be a competition, man. It will be totally a decimate, right? And I wish that the 92 Dream Team would exist today. I wish we can go back in time and bring that 92 Dream Team, so that way, we'll see like how much of an idiot these fools are, right? How stupid they look, right? Because a lot more people are getting, cocky and arrogant. So yeah, I mean, we don't even, true fans already know, like they don't have to bring the team back. They already know they're gonna beat them like no problem, right? So let's talk about the 2024 USA. Then we talk about the 92, dream team, right? The USA of, 2024. So they supposed to be blowing these teams out, just like the 92 dream team. But the 2024 USA is barely scraping teams. They're like barely, right? I know that I wouldn't be surprised if this team USA actually, won, the gold medal, right? But they were like how many points favored? Like a blowout, like 30 or 40 points favored, right? They supposed to be blowing teams out, not just by like double digit, like 20 or 30 points, right? And they did not do that, right? And there's this one time where Team USA actually fall behind, right? So let me talk about this again, about the South Sudan versus USA, the show before the Olympics, right? They gave up 100 points to the South Sudan. Now there's one thing I did forgot about talking about Olympic basketball is that the game regulation is actually only 40 minutes. Why? Because each quarter is only 10 minutes, whereas the real NBA, they're playing like 12 minutes per quarter, right? So they're playing like 8 minutes less. They're playing a little bit less, so scoring is a big deal. If you allow a team to score 100 points from any country, your defense sucks, man. You have a real defense issue. That is my main concern, right? I wonder why was the scoring like a lot lower, but then your team was just like scoring 3 and 2. It's because of shorter game regulation. So if they ever add 8 more minutes, that 90 point they score could have been like over 100 for sure. So yeah, so actually, it's short by like 1.2. So 100 point means like 120 points, if it was a 48-minute period, right? No disrespect to South Sudan, but people told me not to disrespect South Sudan, or I told myself not to disrespect because, because we live in a very sensitive, era, right? I mean, if I offend that country, then the people from that country, they think, they will dislike me because I offended them, but it's just the truth, Sometimes we're telling the truth, but people get really offended and they get mad, and call us, you make narrative, you make liars, right? South Sudan is not a good team, right? And that makes a true fan upset, NBA fan upset. They say that the 92 Dream Team will not beat, this South Sudan team that just scored 100 points. Are you kidding me, man? This team will not even score close to 100 if they play against the Dream Team. The biggest reason why Dream Team is better than the 2024 is because of defense, right? Defense wins championship, not offense. Nowadays, they're more into scoring, a lot higher than playing defense, right? The USA, 2024 team is pathetic. They're just jogging back and forth on the court. The players are more fragile, right? And they don't play tough defense. And all of this, you go against the 92 Dream Team, you have no chance, right? I mean, yeah, and this team also scored lower too, It's probably because of the other countries, defense, right? The defense didn't get better, USA is actually falling down, right? As well. The country falling down, but USA is probably falling down a lot more, lowering down the standard. So that's why this team got exposed and they have looked more, vulnerable as ever, right? That every time, it's all these narrative, that LeBron does not make anyone better, right? This is why nobody plays with LeBron James, right? I mean, wherever he goes, the team actually gets worse, not better, right? Michael Jordan makes everyone better, right? This is why, lots of people don't respect LeBron James, right? If you want to play with him or whoever played with him, right? Your stats and your basketball performance will plummet down dramatically, right? And those are just the facts, right? So if all LeBron fans, you know, ever criticize me, you know, like, I just don't care at the end of the day, you know. I just don't care, you know. It's just the facts, right? Yeah, I'm sorry if this offended, you know, LeBron James fans, right? Yeah, you know, they're barely like scraping teams, you know. And the USA is supposed to beat South Sudan by 43 points. 43! And they were down double digit in the middle of the game. Like, it is just a joke. And beating teams by like, you know, 1 point. And LeBron did play, he didn't play it well, but he just played okay. And every time, this is the one thing that annoys me the most, is like, every time a team wins, you know, like LeBron does like his showboating, and he just gets like all the credit, like this makes, this is why a lot of people, you know, hates LeBron James and don't want, and this is why nobody wants to play with LeBron, right? He gets all the credit, and when you lose, he like blames teammates, but not him, right? That's just the facts, man. That's what happened every single time, right? And LeBron fans does the same thing. So LeBron will never take accountability, right? It's all just narrative, right? I mean, yeah, the team just looked too old. That's another thing, you know, like my cousin was saying, you know, like why the Lakers didn't make the playoff twice, right? And, you know, and they have like lots of like 500 free throw plus benefit, right? A little off topic, even though it's not to Team USA. I just tell you that LeBron's the one that is causing a huge issue, you know, for every team he goes to, right? Yeah, so LeBron, you'll get many coaches fired, right? That's another thing I have to talk about coaching, you know, right after, you know, players, right? Joel Embiid, you know, fragile, and also, you know, LeBron just does his thing, you know. LeBron, you know, is overrated, you know, playing, you know, so lazy on defense. He only plays offense, right? You got Kevin Durant, you got Steph Curry. They don't have, you know, a bunch of good, you know, players. It's the players and the coach's fault. So the whole team has all the fundamental issue, right? So, yeah, so, and also, you know, and then, you know, yeah, so the USA, you know, I think when they face their opponent in Olympic, you know, they take care of them as they should. And then once they play, you know, Serbia, you know, they supposed to beat them by like at least 15 points, but they were down by like, they were getting blown out, you know. And also, you know, guess who saved, you know, Team USA? It is not LeBron James, it's Curry, right? This is why, you know, I have a Curry jersey, and I think I value more jersey on Steph Curry than LeBron James. Like, I wear a LeBron James jersey and nobody, you know, cares, right? But if I put on Steph Curry jersey, maybe I get a little more attention, right? So that's another thing, right? Curry is a very good player, right? He is, you know, the most important asset, you know, to the Golden State Warriors, right? This is why Warriors have been relevant for like almost 10 years now, right? Almost 10 years. So yeah, you'll help his team carry final, winning, you know, more championship. I feel like he could have won more championship, you know, if the Golden State, you know, kept Mark Jackson and kept Kevin Durant and Draymond Green, you know, doesn't go act like a buffoon, right? So yeah. Anyway, this is why I have to give Steph credit, you know, to Steph Curry. He's the one that's been making three. I mean, without Steph Curry, right, the USA had no chance of winning, you know, gold medal. And even if they, you know, like beat Serbia by like a miracle or on, you know, accident, they're not going to beat France. I know that for sure. Because all France do, they have to bench Rudy Gobert, right? Rudy Gobert is one of the most overrated, pathetic player, you know, of the bigs, right? Rudy Gobert is really, you know, unplayable, and he's very useless, right? This is why, you know, the Timberwolves got eliminated to the Dallas Mavericks this year. So it's because of Rudy Gobert, right? Yeah, and they have like Victor Wembanyama. That's a big name, I know him there, right? Victor Wembanyama is the one that has to carry these, you know, bums, you know, just, you know, face USA, right? I heard that Serbia would have blown out the Team USA by like over 20 points. And the reason why they didn't get to a 20-point lead is because, Steph Curry, saved the day, right? And here's another thing, like, they thought like LeBron James saved that team. No, LeBron didn't do anything, right? If you take Steph Curry out of the game, then they would have got blown out. But if you take LeBron James out of the game, then who knows, man? The game, like Team USA might have blown out Serbia, right? They might, right? They have a good chance, right? So yeah, and also, not just only Team USA doesn't play better defense than, the 92 Dream Team, but they also score less too. So Team USA, they play every country and they're scoring less than 100 points. I'm like, yeah, they only play 40 minutes. Like, come on, the Dream Team also play 40 minutes, quarter two. So what are you talking about here, huh? The rules are exactly the same, right? And don't get me wrong, the refs actually help Team USA. So can't fool me there, because that's what, the true fans was saying, right? Like Ticket TV and Pittsburgh. Every time they have LeBron James, they have to manipulate a little bit, just to favor him, right? That's what LeBron does, manipulate stuff. And people ain't stupid to fall for, his narrative and his manipulation, right? That's what I'm saying in this video, right? So, yeah, gay ref, favor, whatever team he plays, right? Yeah, ages, another thing, like, I heard that Kevin Durant or LeBron James should retire. As soon as these, guys, retire from the NBA, I think the NBA is going to look a lot different, probably a lot better, right? Yeah, people really, really beg LeBron James to retire, right? He should retire, man. I'm like, his career, like, he's just embarrassing himself. Like, he's not doing anything good for his career, right? So, yeah. And yeah, I think one time the USA was down 70 point, Team Serbia, right? Now let's go talk about the 92 Dream Team, all that stuff, right? The 92 Dream Team didn't even have their best player. They didn't have Michael Jordan and, other stuff, right? They have all these players, they show up, every game, right? This is why the 92 Dream Team is that's why the 2024 USA is nothing compared, to the 92 Dream Team, right? The 92 Dream Team, player, they show up to work every single day. They're a true professional, they're real grown-up man, right? The 2024, like every single one of them, I don't have respect except for maybe Curry, because he's the one that saved the team, right? Everyone else, gets no respect, right? They don't show up the games. They do lots of low managing, right? They do all this front running, right? They play no defense, right? And they're more injury prone. This is why, I cannot take this 2004 USA team seriously, right? But anyway, I root for them, I want them to win gold medal, right? Because this is my country, I pay my duties, to live in this country, so I have to root for Team USA, but I have to call out what as it is, right? I have to call it out. So that way, nobody thinks I'm lying, right? And the true fan knows that I am not lying at all, right? I take what they say and also, just spread the message to you guys, right? So, yeah, that's just a message, right? And the 92 JV not only, like their opponent scoring less, they also score more on them too. So this is why, the victory margin become a lot bigger, right? Because that in the past, like from the 1900s and even the early 2000s, in the Kobe Bryant era, or even, like the 2012 or, any other, year, where I was like younger, Like Team USA were blowing out countries, man, like decimate them like they should, right? They're blowing up by like 30, 40, 50 points, right? The 2004 USA team are taking, country, a lot lightly comparing, to the 92 Dream Team. 92 Dream Team take team seriously, and they want to send a statement of like why they are dominant, why they have so much talent, and why they should be respected, and why they, should be, set at a standard, right? That's what 92 Dream Team is. The 92 Dream Team, they score over 100 points. They score like 120, 130, like some country, like the South Sudan or, other, team that are not good basketball, they couldn't even score half of the Dream Team, man. But if you put, the 2024, Team USA in that, similar super scan, just similar, like their opponent will definitely score more than, half of Team USA. Or Team USA, will beat them, but by not, in a ridiculous, landslide, right? Where, the score is so lopsided, right? They probably beat them like 20 or 30 points at most. Whereas the Dream Team, they will just like, they lose more than the actual score, right? So that's the difference between, the Dream Team and the USA, right? I mean, in my opinion, the 92 Dream Teams are probably the most formidable Team USA, right? And I don't think any team can beat them, right? Well, you can say that some team like in the 1996 or year 2000, maybe they can beat, that Team USA, right? I don't think I will see any team, anytime soon, beat the 92 Dream Team, right? I mean, if that team was in the NBA final, 92 Dream Team will dominate like every single team, even the Chicago Bulls. I hate to say, but they would probably dominate the Michael Jordan, Chicago Bull, right? So yeah, that's something I want to say out there. 92 Dream Team versus the Michael Jordan Chicago Bull. I'm gonna put all my money on that 92 Dream Team. I'm putting all my money if they ever face championship, but this pathetic Dream Team versus that Chicago Bull team in 1996, absolutely no chance. Like, they're gonna get swept in a blowout, and every game, every single loss is gonna be a blowout, man. Right? The team will lock up. They will play a lot harder defense, right? You know that being LeBron James isn't impossible. You put LeBron James there, teams can figure out, how to beat you easily, right? Yeah, and it's not that hard, to stop LeBron James. It's really not that hard if you have a really good defense and a hard-nosed coach. Now, see, this is one thing I forget again, Now I forgot about Coach. And Coach Steve Kerr, everybody criticize Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr is a really overrated coach, right? And like, Steve Kerr is not overrated. Like, he got the Warrior 4 championship. That's not true, right? I mean, that is the facts, but Steve Kerr did not build that team. It was built by Mark Jackson, right? This is the reason why, everybody respected Mark Jackson, the real people, right? Instead of calling them real fan, I don't want to use the same vocabulary word. Yeah, so just use alternate. Just for the sake, of don't repeat things again, right? So, yeah, that's just, my habit, so I have to stop that. So, yeah, Mark Jackson was the one that, built that team. Just like, this is why I don't respect Joe Mazzulla. This is something like Joe Mazzulla, he did not build that Boston team that got them a championship, right? Joe Mazzulla does not deserve to get that credit. It was originally, built by, I forgot, Udoka, the former, Celtic coach that's now, coaching the Houston Rockets, right? Tabo Udoka, was the one that built the Celtic team, not, Joe Mazzulla. You cannot get that coach credit, right? Steve Kerr is nowhere near, Mark Jackson's level, right? Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, they even had an interview like why, like Mark Jackson really, get them to where they are today, right? So yeah, Steve Kerr has a really bad rotation. He's a very stubborn, coach. He does not want to use Jason Tatum, right? Jason Tatum, I know that, his mom and his dad, Jason Tatum's, parents are really pissed off, are really furious that Jason Tatum does not get much playing time, or not at all, right? He does not want to use the Celtics. He does not use Derek White and all that stuff, right? Yeah, I get it, like, to order with basketball, size matter. This is why Team USA's are so strong, because size matter a lot. Like, people are sick of your small ball stuff, right? They're sick of it, man. So, yes. I think this is why, a lot of teams are winning. They're winning based on their being more physical and their size. Not like going small and, jacking up 3 points, right? That's not what it's all about, right? So, yeah. I mean, honestly, Steve Kerr should get fired as a Team USA coach, but I highly doubt it. I will not be surprised if Steve Kerr did not get fired, because the Team USA won, right? And he gets all the credit, right? You have to give credit, to the right person, to the right players, right? Not to the coach or player that didn't deserve it, right? You don't give all that credit to LeBron James, not Steve Kerr, right? Yeah, people were like furious at Steve Kerr, right? Very furious, right? And he's the main reason why, the Warriors lost multiple championships. I feel like the Warriors would have won like more championships. They would have won like at least 2 more, right? If I'm not mistaken, right? It's because of Steve Kerr, and then he's the one that make it to Warrior mess. Bob Meyer probably left because of him, right? And then Draymond Green, getting out of control, knocking dudes out, and I'm sick of this shenanigan. People are sick of Draymond Green, right? So, yeah, and anyway, this is why Klay Thompson left the Golden State Warriors, so. Steve Kerr does not know how to handle situations, right? He's not a good coach at all. He is a crappy coach, right? You give me Darvin Ham and give me Tyronn Lue, give me your other coach, right? Or especially Mark Jackson, like, they will definitely out-coach Steve Kerr, right? And I know that Steve Kerr, out-coached LeBron James, in the finals. So we know that LeBron does not impact that much on the player, right? He negatively impact. Well, he does impact, but sorry, I didn't mean to lie again, but negatively impact, right? Not positively. There's a difference between positive and negative, right? 2 different things, and they're opposite meaning too. So, yeah, I should say negative impact, right? I mean, you put a player in, there's always going to be impact, right? And it could be neutral. So, yeah, that's what I have to, to say, in this video, right? The 92 Dream Team, they play much more better as a team, right? I mean, just by looking at team, they have to play as well as a team. This is called a team sport, not an individual sport, right? If you play individually, you will lose. So that's another thing I see problem with the Lakers. Every time people play with LeBron, right? They don't communicate. They don't have good body language, right? That is the problem right there, right? In the LeBron James era. So you see that when they have bad language and when they don't play well as a team, it doesn't matter how much talent you are. Like, any team can beat you, right? With team that have way lower than you, right? This is how they see the weakness right there, right? The size matter too. So yeah, and let me get this quote from Ticket TV, right? This is not my quote. This is Ticket TV. So you cannot get mad at me and, hit dislike on this video. You cannot do that. You just cannot discredit me, right? Because this is from Ticket TV, right? I didn't steal the quote. I didn't make this up. Ticket TV said this. He said that if you put this 2024 championship, Boston Celtics, versus this France team or Team Serbia, they will lose by over 20 points. And I totally agree with that, right? Even the Boston Celtics themselves can, beat this team, blow them out, by over 20 points, right? And I forgot, one thing, that the 92 Dream Team, by Sport Fitness ran, right? He said that, this team actually blows out team and they have used 0 timeout, right? That's another crazy part. Well, that each country, they do, get like about 5 timeouts. When they're getting regulation of 48 minutes, you get a 6 timeout in the NBA, right? But this country is so talented, they're so good, like they don't use a single timeout. That's the 92 Dream Team, right? The 2024 Dream, this U.S. roster, has to use a timeout to order to win game, right? That's another thing. Timeouts is another, big factor, right? I think this is how you can tell that this is actually a real blowout, right? The other opponent, they get beaten down, right? And they feel like the other team will make that team quit, right? And submit them to quit, right? And then, they have to use the timeout. That's how you can tell the blowout. Talk about not only they get blown out, but they're using way less timeout, right? And timeouts important because that's how you change the game's momentum, right? Countries was using, like all their timeouts versus this 92 Dream Team, and they still get blown out, right? They still go down. They still cannot catch up for whatever reason, right? But yeah, and that's how dangerous that team was, the 92 Dream Team, right? And this is why, the timeout, more scoring, everything is better than the 24, this 24 roster team, right? So, yeah, and there's some, country that they couldn't even get up to 70 points, right? I mean, in the NBA, like sometimes the Dream Team, if they can play like really tough nose defense, some country will not even sniff 70 points in 48 minutes, right? In the Olympic, maybe not even sniff 60 points. They'll get 50. Like I said, like blown out by, by huge lopside where they don't get, half of the score, right? Half of the team, the 92 Dreams score, right? The team USA will nowhere get near 100. And this is why, the team all-star, they give up 200 points, right? The Dream Team, they play really tough defense, and I think like it's very hard. It's like almost impossible to score 100 points on them, right? In 40, even as little as like 48 minutes, right? I mean, if it's an overtime, but still, like 100 points to score on them by 100 points, it's still impossible, man. It's still, on a very bad day, on a very good day, you need very good day, very bad day, you need a miracle just to score 100 points. Maybe that'll happen one time on the 92 Dream Team, but if it did, it's probably not going to happen again, in decades, if that 92 Dream Team exists forever, right? It's probably not going to happen in many, many years. But if you do the 294 Dream Team, you score 100 points on them, they're most likely going to, it's a lot easier to score 100 points on the, 2004 USC team than compared to the Dream Team, right? So that is all, I have to say in this video, right? That Boston Celtics team would have beat that Team USA, right? Mainly because of coaching. Well, if coaching wasn't an issue, and if they take out LeBron James, then Team USA would have beat Boston Celtics. And the Boston Celtics won a paper championship, right? It has an asterisk on it. I think like ever since, like 2010 is over, every championship is an asterisk, right? Well, I don't know about 2011, but I know 2012 is asterisk, 2013 asterisk championship, right? Every single championship was an asterisk on it, right? Yeah, so all the LeBron championships are asterisks, right? Asterisks, right? So I have to end off this video here, But if I miss out something, just comment below. Maybe I did point out every this and that, right? 92 Dream Team not only play, but let's get into more detail. They rebound better. They probably will turn the less over. I mean, it's just all about defense, right? So yeah, when the team look more physical, like they look more stronger, right? Like, how LeBron James is, like how these players is. Like, they don't want to play physical, They just want to run and jack up threes, right? It's just not how you win the game, right? You only win maybe 1-2 game at most, but you live by 3, you die by 3. You just depend on shot, right? I mean, if the team play a lot, stronger defense, then shooting 3 would be really tough too, right? I got a feeling like these guys are not physical. They're not going to go in the paint, right? Because of, how hard the defense is. If you guard the paint really well, then a team is not going to beat you at all. So, peace out.